What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Thursday night live stream here on Drums and Drams. Good to be here hanging out with everybody this evening. I'm really looking forward to this stream. There's a lot of great whiskey that I'm going to be drinking. Hopefully it's going to be a good time for everybody. But some cool matchups, some cool topics of discussion, I think, that we're going to kind of get into here. The trolls have been out and about on YouTube. Let me just say that. So I got to get my first pour going here. And as you guys know, I always kick things off with an Eagle Rare store pick if I can. But this is the one that centers my palate, kind of gets me ready for, tasting a lot of whiskey. By the way, I promise that I'm going to change that intro, the jazzy Drums and Drams intro. I might leave the music, but I've got to put something else behind it. I've been getting a lot of videos out this week, the last 2 weeks, and that's on my mind, but it's not like my priority number one. But I am gonna spruce that up a little bit because it needs a little something to make it a little bit better. So, anyways, I'm gonna check out the chat here in just a second, guys. But I just want to say cheers first and foremost. Let me know what you're sipping on. If you are coming in here right now, please hit that like button right away. Let's get all 28 people hitting that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I want to earn your trust, but within like the next couple minutes, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get 3,000 subs by next Thursday's live stream, which would be awesome because that is my birthday. Next Thursday, the 28th. It's going to be a birthday stream, and it would be a nice birthday gift to get to 3,000 subs if possible. So like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Let me know what you're sipping on. Cheers. I'm going to have a little sip of this Eagle Rare. I don't know where this pick is from, but cheers. And here we go. There we go. Already within the first 2 minutes, my mouse backspaces me out of being live. So if that ever happens, guys, if I ever just like disappear off the screen, that's this shitty wireless Apple mouse. I have no idea why it does that, but it it just glitches all the time and it just backspaces me. It's hilarious. All right, let me check out the live chat here, everybody. And let me get full screened so I can see. Awesome. There we go. It's whiskey time was jumping in here a little bit early saying new subscriber from the Stag 18 video. That is really good to hear. Guys, if you are ever like a new subscriber jumping in, let me know. And also let me know what got you to subscribe. What was your first video or first live stream? That Stag 18 video has been kind of the jump start here on the channel to get back into like really good viewership, racking up more subscribers. And it's been awesome to see that happen over the last, week or so. Enjoyed the Booker's Rye vid. Guys, I dropped a review of Booker's Rye just a little bit earlier. Bet it's some tasty juice. I have a Booker's 30th, but never found the rye. Fingers crossed for another release. Yeah, I hope there will be another release. Although I saw a comment right before I jumped on here that said that that the recipe has been lost, like it died with Booker No. And so the second release will inevitably not be close because they don't actually have that recipe. So I don't know how true that is, but you know. Paul Graham says, I'll be there. And then he came in hot. Paul came in hot with a $50 super chat before the show even started. So thank you so much, Paul. That is awesome. Paul's one of the biggest supporters of the channel. If you've been here before in a live stream, you know that. You know that Paul supports the channel unbelievably. And so thank you so much, Paul. I'm going to give you 10 entries into the giveaway, which I guess I need to talk about like sooner than later. If the super chats are going to start rolling, we need to get into it. All right. I've got my document set up to track super chats. And thanks to Amy Bohm, she sent me a spreadsheet with a formula built into it. So tracking super chats is a total breeze now, which is amazing. Before I go any further in the chat, yeah, that's right. I got like 2 or 3 people in. Let's just really quickly talk about the giveaway this evening. Only going to be one prize. You know, I am so behind on shipping giveaway prizes out right now, like 2 or 3 streams worth of prizes. So that's all going to go out next week. I absolutely promise. I swear on my life, it's all going to go out next week. It's going to be like 15 boxes. But the prize for tonight is going to be a bottle of Hidden Barn, which just released yesterday in the gift shop of the Neely Family Distillery. This is Jackie Zykin's new project. So the very first batch, it's my only backup bottle. And I went down there with the intention, if I was able to get 2, that I was definitely going to be giving away that second bottle. So I'm giving this away tonight. Every $5 in super chats gets you an entry. The list gets randomized. In this case tonight, I believe I'm going to randomize the list. I'll share my screen. You can see it. Siri will call out a random number, and that's going to be the winner of this evening's giveaway. We're going to draw for that right around 10 p.m. Okay, so 10 p.m. is the time that I'm looking to do that. All right, back to the chat, y'all. So if you want to get those super chats in, you know, now you know kind of, you're obviously supporting the channel, but now you know what you're playing for if you want to get in on that giveaway. So, all right. JG says, Whiskey Cheers. Good to see you, Tom Lynch. Sugar Kitty, I see Dunny's in the house. JP just poured some Russell's single barrel, which I had the 13. You know what? Some of those single barrels are as good, if not better than the 13. You know, a little bit in a different way. They don't have the 19 and 20-year-old bourbon blended in there, but, you know, just good in a different way. Evening all, my first Drums and Drams live stream, says BOS Wine Guy, Bose Wine Guy. And, oh, I remember your comment was about the Leopold 3-chamber rye, and I'm going to taste that this evening in the beginning of this stream. So if you want to check that out, I'm going to talk about Hidden Barn, talk about that 3-chamber rye. And yeah, awesome. Thanks for jumping in here. Hendo, good to see you, man. Jake McKee, I know I owe you some bottles and samples. Those are going to be on the way. I do promise. I promise. Dustin Pullman. Guys, there is nothing better than an Eagle Rare store pick. I'm telling you. Dustin Pullman says, cheers, Cam. Hope all is well. Plan to watch while smoking 160 pounds of beef. I was like, what are you smoking 160 of? Dustin, I recorded the Redemption Rye 18 video. I recorded it. I cut the video today. That's probably going to go out next week, I would imagine. Great video, man. I was able to do a comparison next to the Mount Vernon 14-year rye and the Redemption 10-year barrel proof rye. A little longer video than I wanted. It's like 15 minutes for a quick sip, but I think it's going to be a great video. I'm excited for it. Hendo's got a great pour in his bottle, in his glass rather. The Woodinville cast strength finished in Armagnac barrels. That is a fantastic bottle. Oh, yeah. Tom starting off with some 1910. That's awesome. Smoke and Firewater, I owe you a comment reply, I believe. I'm going to get there. I've been hitting it hard, guys. Videos. Like almost every day I've been releasing something, and I'm going to dial it back here and settle into a rhythm, I promise. Tomorrow I'm either going to drop the new Booker's batch, the Lumberyard batch. I'll either drop a review of that or maybe Discovery 8. That's the plan for tomorrow. Just so you guys are aware. Just keep an eye out for it. I'm going to see if I can get it done by noon. Otherwise, it might be in the evening, like 6 p.m. or so, before I'm playing a concert tomorrow night and Saturday night. So, guys, I'm going to just get through the chats now. I'm going to scroll towards the bottom. I apologize for that. You know, I'll keep up with it a little bit better as the stream goes on, but I got to get to these super chats. AM65, happy to see you back posting more again. Yeah, it's good to be back doing this a little crazy right now, but I'm going to get into a better groove here soon. Hendo is wanting to get in on this giveaway for the Hidden Barn. Let me get you guys in here. AM65 coming in with 2 entries. Man, I'm telling you guys, this Excel spreadsheet that I've got is freaking amazing. Thank you, Amy, so much for giving me this. 21090 in the house. Hey, I'm going to be tasting some of those 14-year ryes tonight. I got the second one that Sealbox released. So that is exciting. JP, got to get to the super chat, wants to go to the Hidden Barn. I didn't get to go into the Hidden Barn. It's got to go into the gift shop. But actually, the Neely Family Distillery gift shop, I liked it. It was just off the side of the highway, but it had a nice little log cabin vibe to it. It was cool. What is up, Amy? Speak of the devil, good to see you. Tom Lynch just Venmo $20 for the pleasure of your company. Tom, I'll get you in there. Tom Lynch with 4 super chat entries. Thank you so much. Everybody, please hit that like button. We're going to get into our first tasting here in just a second. Not going to start off with the head-to-heads tonight. We're going to start off with a little craft whiskey. Kind of just quickly talk about it. Elephant in the room for those of you who have been seeing any of the YouTube comments on my video or on Jason dropped his video last night, like an hour or 2 after I dropped mine. And both of us have been getting comments from some YouTube trolls, and I figured, you know what? Let's air it out. Let's get this shit off of our chests tonight, and we can move on from this. We have a little therapy session for like 10 minutes. You know, that's all I want to do on it is 10 minutes. Amy says, "Who loves you, baby?" Henry D, what is up? Thank you for the $30 super chat. Let me get you in here. Jiminy Christmas. 6 entries, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. At this rate, I might have to dig out something else to give away tonight, another bottle or something, because we got a lot of super chats rolling in right now. Holy crap. Aiden, yeah, guys, if you do send me anything directly through Venmo, you got to let me know just let me know in the chat, because I don't check my phone really during live streams. But Aiden, I got you, man. Thank you. And Aiden, you've been fighting the good fight in some of those comment sections. Hilarious. All right. Let's get this Eagle Rare. I'm going to pour it back. I don't want to waste an Eagle Rare store pick, you know. I don't send samples of this out to anybody. It's not really something that you send samples of necessarily, so I'll just pour it back in here. Little backwash never hurt anybody. But I don't do that. I do promise, if I ever send samples out, it's not a bottle that I've ever poured back into. I'm really particular about that kind of thing, you know, because I would hope nobody, for me, you know, would do stuff weird to my samples. Not that that's that weird, but, you know. 21090 coming in hot with a $10 super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you say, I will not share with Andy since he never super chats. Good, you know. Little, not animosity. That's not the right word. Little competitiveness. I don't know. That's funny. All right, guys, let's get to it here. I'm going to pull out. I had a great comment. Non sequitur. I'm going to pull out, and then I moved on. I had a comment from Bose Wine Guy. Was that the handle? I want to make sure I got that right here. BOS Wine Guy, I believe is what it was. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Bose Wine Guy or BOS Wine Guy asked me when I was on my Hidden Barn video, I talked about kind of a grain note. All right. Like a raw grain or funky grain, I think is what I called it. Like a funky grain note. And he was like asking what that note is. And so I wanted to start this stream off by retasting the Hidden Barn. I'm sure some of you in the chat have seen the video that I released yesterday, and I'm sure some of you have not seen it. So I'll quickly taste it again here. And I'm going to, for BOS Wine Guy, I'm going to check out this Leopold 3-chamber rye and just quickly see if it has anything that resembles the Hidden Barn so that, you know, we can kind of talk about what that funky grain note is. Like, how can we quantify that note as best as possible without just accepting that it's something new that we don't understand? Because there is some level of that, I think, when you do taste craft whiskey. You can't quantify every flavor that you're getting, but as much as possible, I think we should try to dig into it just a little bit more, maybe. So Amy coming in with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Amy says, give it away, give it away, give it away now. There we go. Thanks, Amy. And thank you for the spreadsheet. I should give you a 5th entry for free because you gave me the spreadsheet. So guys, real quick, here's the deal. We know this by now. We've been seeing, the videos come out, the articles, all this. Jackie Zykan left Old Forester, yada, yada, yada. She started up with the Neely Family Distillery, this collaboration in the 5280 Whiskey Society from Colorado, and Hidden Barn is coming to us now. First and foremost, it is, the timing's peculiar, right? Like 1 month after she announced she was leaving, there's a product blended by her. I don't know if like Brown-Forman let that happen or if there was some back end stuff, conflict of interest. I don't know. And I don't know that anybody that's talking about this knows. So that's the first thing. No, it's not worth making assumptions about that, I don't think. Secondly, this whiskey, no matter what, is not going to be a whiskey that everybody's going to like. If you've ever tasted whiskey from like Woodinville, if you've ever tasted any craft whiskey, anything aged in a 30-gallon barrel, anything using heirloom grains or pot distillation, you know that stuff tastes completely different than Elijah Craig, or Buffalo Trace or Larceny. And so it's not going to be for everybody. So I think that's enough of a caveat when you talk about craft whiskey is, hey, this is not going to be enough for everybody. And then you can talk about it. And if you like it, you like it. But there are these guys, I can't remember their names, in my comment section and in Jason's comment section, that are just trolling, man. I mean, you should go check it out. It's actually pretty funny. Give them a thumbs down on their comments, But they are just trolling like, oh, you guys are bought and sold, and you don't want to say anything bad because Jackie's a part of it. It's like, I don't know Jackie, and I don't care what Jackie thinks of me, because I don't know Jackie. But I'm just telling the truth, is that I like this whiskey. So I'll taste it real quick, and then I'll taste this Leopold 3-chamber and see if there's any comparison to be made here on the grain notes. And then we're going to move on from this shit because I'm sick of it. And someone tonight is going to walk away with a bottle of this, and you can tell me if I'm crazy when you crack it open, and hopefully, you don't flip it on the secondary market. So that's all. Audio Junkie is going to be home soon after work. Thanks for jumping in. Mom, thank you for the $2 super chat. It's not enough for an entry, though. Sorry, Mom. All right. Woo! That is fucking awesome. Sorry. Okay. So Hidden Barn is 70 corn, 20 rye, 10 malted barley. And again, if you've watched my review or Jason's review, I apologize for the redundancy, but I do want to cover it here because there might be some new people in the house. Double pot distilled, I believe 53-gallon barrels, although it wasn't that actually, I don't know if that was in the press release. I have to go back and look. So the main note that I'm getting out of this, with a wild yeast strain that that Royce Neely collected himself, the main note that I'm getting out of this is kind of like a dark, earthy Mexican chocolate malted milk ball. And I said this in my review. This is the best way I can quantify the graininess in here, the wild yeast and the weird grain notes. You're getting like kind of fresh baked bread and this Mexican chocolate note, which is like kind of like a cocoa powder / cinnamon combination. And that kind of builds the foundation of this. There's some dry dark fruits and cherry as well. But I think the best way to quantify the grain is by talking about the yeasty notes as bread dough, talking about the weird grains as like a syrupy, dark Mexican chocolate type thing. So on to the 3-chamber rye from Leopold Brothers. Just real quick. Yeah, there are definite similarities here. Now this, because this is a rye, there's a lot more citrus. Tons and tons of lemon in here, lemon starburst. Oh, yeah. But that underlying, I keep coming back to like malted milk ball and Mexican chocolate. That's what's in here. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. It's similar to High Plains rye, the estate bottled and bond rye from Cream of Kentucky, Spirits of French Lick, which Jason called out. That's a great call out. Driftless Glen, not as much Driftless Glen, but those grain notes, to me, look for chocolate, look for a dry fruit syrup type thing in the base of the whiskey. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about grain funk. So let's just kind of identify that. What's up, man? Hey, did I put that in the thumbnail? I can't remember if I put that in the thumbnail of the video. I was going to, and then I don't know if I chickened out of that or not. Let me see. Let me pull up the thumbnail. Did I say trolls in it? Yeah, I did. Craft whiskey and YouTube trolls. Dude, Jason, whoever this guy is that's making these comments on our video is cracking me up, man. Like, I'm grateful for the comments and the algorithm, you know? Getting the video out to more people, but it's cracking me up. And, you know, people are trying to say, oh, you're simping for Jackie Zeichen. It's like, no, I'm not. I actually know nothing about her besides like some of what she's done at Old Forester, you know, and it's so dumb. Jesus Christ. So I'm going to move on from that. BOS Wine Guy, if you're hanging out still, there are similarities, but the Leopold 3-chamber rye for me, definitely more of this like Alka-Seltzer, effervescent, lemon starburst thing on here with that underlying wild raw grain note. So look deep into that, and that's what you're going to get on the Hidden Barn. So, all right. I like Hidden Barn, guys. A lot of people aren't going to like it. Okay. Move some things around here. Yeah, this is the best part. Is they're saying like you're wrong about it, and it's like I can just tell you whether I liked the whiskey or not. I don't like what. And these guys probably haven't even tasted the whiskey. That's the funniest thing. They maybe have tasted something from Neely, from the Neely family distillery. Who knows? But for them to say like, no, it can't possibly be good. It's like I'm sorry, man. You know, sorry about my opinion. Yeah, Aiden. The other thing is he clearly watched the reviews, or at least some part of them, you know? I'll take the viewership. Big Potato, how do I feel about Old Kirk? I've never had any Old Kirk, actually. Is that sourced MGP, or is that the rumored Willet stuff? Oh, I'm getting Old Soul and Old Kirk confused. I think Kirk is the Willet rumored stuff, and Old Soul is MGP. Someone let me know in the chat. Yeah, man. I thought that was an interesting comment, because I think you're right that there are a few things that we bourbon whiskey tubers like to talk about that are so kind of abstract, which one is saying something tastes dusty. That's hard to quantify. Saying something tastes funky, that's also hard to quantify. And saying like, what did we say? Yeah, funky grain. That's also hard to quantify. So some of those tasting notes are things, unfortunately, you kind of have to experience yourself, but we can do our best. Old Kirk is Willet, says Justin Jenkins. Okay. How do I feel about I'm hashtag Team Captain Kirk. That's a good comment. That's a good comment. I wonder if they got the apostrophe too. All right. So what are we going to do first? Oh, guys, I want to taste this real quick. Someone's beautiful face is on this bottle. Someone's beautiful mug is on this bottle. I want to taste this. I don't think I've tasted this on a live stream yet. It doesn't look like I've only had maybe 1 or 2 sips. America. Let's taste ADHD whiskey. Matt Porter, his latest Knob Creek pick called the King of Creeks. Check this out. I love to taste other whiskey tubers picks and blends. I love to taste those, and I'm working right now. I'm starting a series on the channel, Friends Blends and Barrel Picks. So that's going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. A new series kind of dedicated to tasting reviewing kind of, and also talking about any similarities I'm finding throughout somebody's track record of doing picks and blends. So for instance, I know like Jason likes whiskeys that have really long finishes, like great finishes. So maybe if I find throughout the time tasting mash and journey picks that I start finding a lot of long finishes on those picks, it'll be something interesting to talk about as the series goes on. And, things I might find in Matt Porter's picks or whatever else. I just think it's going to be a great way to kind of talk about what other whiskey tubers are doing. Look at that. Come on. What are you talking about? Look at that. Look at that smile. God bless America. Look at that smile. Brian, dude, I was not able to, just budget-wise, not able to get those driftless picks. I'm like stumbling on my words. I'm not even drunk. What am I doing? I would love to, though. All right, let's see. Oh, I can't put that on the screen. Not going to put that on the screen. We got another super chat. Smoke and Firewater. I'm in. Best chance to get this bottle. Honestly, you're probably right. Because the distribution on that Hidden Barn is like, it's 4 states. And then the gift shop already sold out. And I don't know. I'm not sure if they're going to restock or anything. Brian, if I remember to do that, I will. By the end of the streams, I never remember anything that happened. So sorry, Mom, if you're watching. So guys, Matt's King of Creeks pick here is about 9.5 years old. It says 2020 World's Top Whiskey Taster on it. I didn't notice that. That's awesome. Ooh, very sweet on the nose. Oh, yeah. Little ethanol, but, a younger Knob Creek pick's going to have a little bit of ethanol kick to it, 120 proof. Oh, I like that. It's almost like cherries covered in dark chocolate. Is that like a dessert or something? I feel like I've had cherries covered in dark chocolate before. Yeah, I don't know. But that's kind of the vibe I'm getting on the nose right away. It's a really nice and dark whiskey, but there's also something kind of light and sweet sitting on the top of it. Oh, there's a lot going on in here, Matt. Usually with the Knob Creek 9-year, the single barrel reserve that you get on the shelf at stores, to me, it's just a peanut fest. The proof is nice. A little bit of kind of charred oak into it and, burnt caramels and stuff. But to me, it's a little bit sharp and rough around the edges. This is like a really nice, dark, fruity version of a 9.5-year Knob Creek pick. Yeah, I'm living in like, you're living in like purple fruit, coffee, chocolate, cherry land with this one. But something sitting on the top. A hint of like cashew, peanut, just a little bit on the top of this thing. Not enough to turn me off, and I'm not a big fan of nutty whiskey. Yeah, it's good. Let's go to the palate. Damn. Oh, Matt, that's cool. It actually started off a little brighter than I thought. It started off with kind of like some green apple peel and a little bit of that nuttiness and a ton of baking spice. But in the mid palate, it went completely coffee. I mean, the transition on the mid palate was really crazy to me. I just love, I'm a big coffee drinker, and I just love when there's a coffee note in whiskey. I just sign me up for that immediately, please. Damn, that's fantastic. Not a lot of oak. Well, maybe I shouldn't speak so soon. The oak in here is perfectly integrated. It doesn't really stand out like a lot of older Knob Creek picks. In the mid palate into the finish starts to get really oaky and really leathery. This blends the oak seamlessly with the dark chocolate and coffee notes in it throughout the entire thing, and it never kind of separates and gets heavy on the oak at any point. Nice long finish too, man. This is some good stuff. AM65, another $10 super chat. Awesome. Thank you so much. 2 more entries into the giveaway. I've had 3 different Knob Creek single barrel picks, and I'm a fan of each. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I actually like the younger picks. This is kind of disproportionately good for only being 9.5 years old, but 11 to 12 year knob picks to me are the best. The 15s, a lot of them kind of get a little bit tired on the palate, a little flat. Personifying whiskey, tired whiskey. Dustin, I've offered to send you some driftless picks, but never heard back. Let me know. Some of the ryes are legit, dude. Yeah, if I have a bourbon pick, which is really good. I just don't have. Yeah, like you're saying, the ryes are legit. I haven't tried those yet. Yeah, man. Let's link up again. I always feel bad having people send me stuff, shipping costs and everything like that. But if you're willing to do it, I am willing to drink them and make review videos for them, or at least taste them on live streams at the very least. Tom Lynch says, I'll get you some samples when I get my CDL sample. Okay. Yeah. I got to get you those. I know. Nice, Matt. Man, this is a great pick. Great pick. And I'm going to pour back into this because I don't want to waste any of it. Okay. Sweet. Guys, let's get to our first head-to-head tonight. I want to start with something on the brighter side of the flavor spectrum. We are going to do this comparison. All right. This will not be first. The reason being is it's such a dark whiskey. I don't want to go from this to this. Weller Foolproof needs to come before Russell's 13. But I have officially batch 1 of Russell's 13 and batch 3. So I don't know if everybody in chat has been kind of peeking around the Facebook groups about this, but there was a second release of Russell's 13 kind of silently. It's bottled in December of 2021. And that is not officially the next batch. That is not batch 3, I guess, but like what everyone's calling batch 2 is not the December 2021 stuff. Batch 2 is technically bottled in, let me make sure with the laser code, bottled in May of 2022. Okay, so this is batch 3. It's being press released as the second release. And I don't really know when the December 2021 stuff that was bottled, I don't know when that started like leaking out to shelves. If it's just happening now with this other bottling, or if it was happening along the way between release 1 and now release 3. But I'm just letting you guys know that I don't have a bottle of that kind of in-between release. They are all 3 different blends from what I can gather in some Facebook group information. Ryan Alves from Justin's House of Bourbon has been talking about it. I have some screenshots. And when I make my review video of this, when I'm able to compare these, I will talk about the blend specifically and what goes into these things. But I just want you to know that before we get into it tonight, after we do this first head-to-head comparison. All right. Let's see. Matt says, I wish, we're talking about Matt's knob pick that we just tasted. I wish it could have been bottled at barrel strength. Crazy at 131. I can't imagine, man. I'd love to taste some Knob Creek at that proof, Sugar Kitty, the last Knob Creek pick I had was 11-year, 10-month. Had a delicious light cherry note. Yeah. I love those slightly younger picks. They're so good. Dustin, have you tried the latest J. Henry Bellefontaine? It's different. Wisconsin distillery. It's great. No, I have not tried it. I don't see any J. Henry stuff out here, so I don't get the chance to try it. The only thing I had besides La Flamme, which La Flamme is ridiculously good, is when Nancy Fraley sent me that sample of what was it? The Anniversary Blend 2021, which was very good. Yes, Amy, everybody please hit that like button. Hit that like button. I don't know how many likes are on here right now. I don't have it in front of me, but we've got to have at least 68 for the 68 people hanging out. Hit that subscribe button. Trying to get to 3,000 subs by next Thursday night's live stream, which is my birthday stream. I would love to get to 3,000 by that point. So thank you guys so much for hanging out this evening. Yeah, Brian, I need to check the codes on all the Russell's 13s. I would assume everything's batch 1. You know, but look out for that JL, that December 21 code. Yeah, so, okay, first comparison tonight, first head-to-head is an interesting one. So I'm going to be honest, I can't remember who gave me this sample. This is a Boone County single barrel 6-year, so we're talking weeded MGP, 6 years old. And I thought, what better thing to compare that to than a Weller Foolproof pick, right? Another single barrel of a weeded bourbon that everybody freaks out about. So I don't know the age on it exactly, but usually these are like probably 6 to 7 years old, I would imagine. So let's do a little Boone County comparison next to a Weller Foolproof store pick. And I don't think I've had any of this Boone County yet. I'm highly unfamiliar. Let me just say this. Highly unfamiliar with MGP weeded stuff. That's over, well, the only MGP weeded stuff that I really have any experience with is Penelope, and that's blended in with other things. So this is going to be actually really eye-opening for me, I think. Got to get a little more in these glasses. Just a reminder about tonight's giveaway, everybody. Every $5 super chat gets you entered in to win this bottle of Hidden Barn batch number 1, blended by Jackie Zyken. Drove down to Kentucky bright and early yesterday morning to get it. All right. Let's check this out. So thank you for all 72 of you hanging out. Let's get into some of these head-to-heads now. Weller Foolproof versus Boone County 6-year single barrel. This has an awesome sticker on the back of it too. There we go. All right. Big Potato says, Cam, we need a Calumet 16 review ASAP. I'm working on that. So Calumet 16 is the next written review that I'm going to be doing on my Patreon. Sometimes I like to do written reviews first, post them in the Patreon. Allows me to kind of gather my thoughts for these releases. And then I can record a video like pretty soon after that, once I have everything really dialed in from what I think about the whiskey. It's coming. I promise it's coming. I might be in the minority on that release. It's going to be hard to tell. Aiden says, if only the Russell's 13s didn't vary wildly. I have not had that experience. But I have right now, I have an open batch 1. I have 2 sealed batch 1s. And I have another batch 1 on the way from a trade. And I've killed a batch 1. So I have experience with 2 different bottlings of batch 1. They were the same. I actually compared them before I killed the first one. And then I'll be able to experience it a few more times. But yeah, I don't know. Happy 22nd. I'm going to be 28. Damn it, Will. Brian, where was my call? It was a little early, man. I got on the road at like 7:30 a.m. and I took 2 wrong turns when I got into Kentucky. I was like, where am I? And Neely is like not in. Neely's kind of out there a little bit, you know. It's not next to civilization. Let's just say that. Hank Butts says, here's to Jackie and Cam. What are you talking about, Hank? All right, man. Hey, I'm a supporter. I'm a fan. I'm a Jackie Zyken fan, but I don't know what this is all about. And the other shit that JG's been saying, I'm not putting that up on the screen. I got to put yours up because it's a super chat. But JG, don't get any funny ideas, man. Okay, so let's get into this now. Weller on the nose, obviously 114 proof. Right away, sharp, kind of just white dog notes on this, sharp ethanol. You can smell the grain. Like you can really definitively smell the grain in this Weller Foolproof. Again, it's a store pick, but both of these are single barrels, so I think it's fair. Vanilla sitting on the top. It's sweet, it's light, but it's also just a little bit sharp and rough around the edges. Yeah. White pepper. Let's go to the Boone County now. I'm so excited about this because I have no experience with these things. That's nice. That's much darker on the nose. Oh, yeah. More earthy on the Boone County. Kind of like mossy, damp soil. There's a little bit of like earthiness in here. Petrichor. For those of you out there that like that tasting note. I love that note, but if you say it, you kind of sound like a wiener. So, yeah. And it's just more fruity, I feel like, this Boone County. The Weller stings you. Weller, definitely some sweet oak when I come back to it now. Sweet oak, candied grape, not quite like as rich of a candied grape note as you get. And even some Buffalo Trace store picks, Eagle Rare. It's not that dense, but it is there. It's hanging out. Ooh. There is something kind of nice in the back, the very back of this Weller Foolproof. Uh-huh. Back to Boone County. Oh, man, that's just different, huh? The Boone County is actually sweeter, but more earthy. Let's taste it. That's fantastic. Yeah, it is literally it is off the highway. But the way that I ended up getting there, because I took 2 wrong turns, was interesting. That's more what I'm talking about. Yeah. I like it though. It kind of reminds me, like, just it's almost like a log cabin off the side of the highway. It's kind of the vibe I was getting, but also I think I approached from some weird way. I don't know. I don't know where I ended up before I got there. ADHD says, bring me to Weller. You can have it. You can have all the 107 you want because I do not like it. Yeah. That weird. Okay, guys, when you get a bad single barrel from Buffalo Trace of any product, it seems, because there's no rye in this. Okay. And the last time I had this tasting note I'm about to say was on a Blanton's Gold, which is a single barrel. It's obviously not a store pick. It's like pea. It's like the way that pea smells is a note that I get off of this. I thought it was the rye in that Blanton's Gold because it was higher rye mash bill too, but I'm getting it on this Weller Foolproof now. And it's not, it's just a weird off grain note. It's not in every product from Buffalo Trace, not every single barrel I get, but in the bad ones, it's this kind of just gross, bitter, urinary grain note. Paul Graham says, I've really enjoyed your growth and the quality of your work. Nice work. Thank you, Paul. And thank you for another $20 super chat, man. Jesus. Paul is amazing. I really appreciate it, man. And one of these nights when I don't have a show on the weekends, I'm going to give you a call, dude. Give you a call. We'll have a few pours together. Let's see. What am I seeing in here? Oh, Aiden says, what is this stuff and whiskey? I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, no, there's I'm telling you guys, if you get a bad barrel of something from Buffalo Trace, it's got to be the corn, because that's the common. Well, it could be the barley, I guess, but it's not. It's the corn that they're using, and that note turns a little bit weird on some of these single barrels that are either too young or not ready to be bottled or something. It's gross. Yeah, it's the dreaded urine note, Weller and pea. So back to the Boone County. Look, the Boone County actually is a little bit savory. There's a strange kind of savory quality to this that I wasn't expecting. It's coming out the more that I sip it. Yeah. What does that remind me of? I mean, kind of like that soy sauce kind of thing, or hoisin sauce. Yeah. Interesting. But otherwise, it's really nice. I don't like that savory note in here. I don't think it works together with what it is. Let's try it again. Oh, but the palate's so damn good. Sugar Kitty says uric acid or ammonia. I don't know. I'll have to go do a side-by-side and let you know. Shit, I'm just clicking. This mouse is so... If I backspace out of here, I'm telling you guys, it's the mouse, and I'll be right back if that happens. Brian says, I've killed a Russell's Reserve 13, I'm assuming. Have one open, but plead the 5th on unopened. I know. Yeah, sometimes I get a little like, maybe I shouldn't talk about the bunker. I mean, I'm actually thinning out the bunker right now, if I'm being honest with you. I'm moving some of my Michter's 10s out of there, getting them out. I went a little crazy. Okay, well, here's what I'm going to say. The Weller Foolproof is definitely easier to drink. Even at 114, once you have your first sip of it and it kind of punches you in the mouth, it starts to go down really, really easy. And I mean, that's like what we like about Buffalo Trace, isn't it? Sweet notes, goes down easy. It's approachable, all that kind of stuff. So it does have that going for it. I just think this pick is maybe not the best pick, but I had no control over either of these. And these are both random bottles that I've acquired. I didn't taste them before I got them or anything like that. I didn't vet these things for whatever that's worth. So I feel like it's a fair comparison to do. Guys, the Boone County 6-year kind of gives the Weller a run for its money. It's really more of a preference thing at this point. But I think if I had like one of those 8-year single barrels with a little more age, as long as that savory note would not overpower it, it didn't get too hoisin soy sauce kind of on the nose and palate. If that didn't happen and I had an 8-year, I bet that would be a fantastic whiskey. So I'm gonna give the slight edge to the Boone County, but I'm not one of those people that just wants to totally shit on Weller and any Buffalo Trace product. That's definitely not me. I got a little tater in me somewhere buried deep, But in this case, I think the Boone County has just a little bit more to offer all the way around, but it is going to be a preference thing at some point. Dude, I also love hoisin, but finding gluten-free hoisin is hard. Sarah was talking about the other day. She said she couldn't find any, so she might have to make some. I don't know how you make it, but she'll figure it out. Fingers crossed. Yeah, Aiden, Weller Foolproof to me is like this weird part of the lineup, and if you don't have a totally banging pick, it's really not worth it. To me, if you're going to pay over MSRP for this bottle, you need to be able to try before you buy. That's the way I look at it. Don't get on the secondary Facebook groups and start paying $300 for one of these blind and then just crack it open. It's probably not going to be good, or it's probably not going to be $300 good. Is it ever going to be, even if it's a good pick? Probably not. Amy Tate's all day she's a tater for OWA, Old Weller Antique. I just can't do it. I don't know why. But I agree with this. I'll take 107 over Foolproof. Yeah, I will take that. All right, let's get these out of here. Now, is it time? Oh God, guys, should I do this first? I feel like I should do this before Russell's 13. I tasted the non-chill filtered rare breed on a previous stream. I know if you were there, you saw it, but I said on that stream, I'm not going to do the comparison right now. I don't want to do this. I should probably do rare breed first, right? Because it's less oaky, it's a little lighter profile, and then go to Russell's 13. What do you think? Aiden says, I just buy a Benchmark Foolproof instead. That kicks the shit out of half of their collection. I need to actually get one. I've been in Kentucky twice in the last 2 weeks on these quick trips to distilleries to pick up these bottles, and I keep seeing that on the shelf at Party Source, and I never pick it up. I just need to buy the damn... I did that review last year, that goofy thing when I was dressed up in my tux with my white gloves with the benchmarks. I want to go back and like re-review a few of those individually, like real reviews, not joking around in my basement. So, Brian says, do the 13s first. Rare breed is going to, well, I mean, rare breed's the same proof as almost the same proof as the Weller. All right, I'll do the Russell's 13. Why not? There's more to come. We have a couple of cool things to do this evening besides this. After Russell's 13, I guess we'll do rare breeds last then. We can do rare breeds last. That's fine. Then we'll do the giveaway at the end. We'll draw for that. Guys, so I have tasted Mount Vernon rye already on a live stream. We got into this a little bit. I just recorded a video of Redemption Rye 18 year, and I threw this into a comparison at the end of the video because it's the oldest rye that I own as part of this, what do they call it? The Maryland Heritage Series, which is 3 releases. The Mount Vernon was the first release that Sealbox got, and I was lucky enough to get the Sherwood, which is the second release that Sealbox has released, and the Sherbrooke is the third and final. And I'm hoping, because you have to like sit there next to your computer and refresh, try to get that in your cart. I'm hoping I can get the Sherbrooke so that I can have all 3 and do an awesome review video of all 3. That's why I haven't released a review video of this just yet. But of the first 2 that I have, I thought, you know what? These are both 14-year MGP ryes. Holy shit. Let's do a head-to-head of these 2 tonight as well. So we will do those after the Russell's 13 head-to-head, which we're going to do right now. Okay, let me make a little space here. If you're hanging out tonight, there's 81 in the chat. Guys, the channel's picking back up. I mean, this is amazing. Lots of videos coming out. If you haven't checked out the Booker's Rye video, go check that out. Whenever you do check these videos out, please drop that like. It really, really helps so much. Drop a like on this video right now if you're tuning into this live stream. That would also be amazing. Booker's Rye review just dropped. Woodford Batch Proof Stag Batch 18. A.H. Hirsch 16 year. I mean, I've been dropping a lot of stuff. Hidden Barn, all this. So there's a lot of stuff out there. Please, support the channel. Check those reviews out. Hit that subscribe button as well if you're hanging out tonight. And if you're new to the channel, doing some good stuff. Let's get these Russell's 13s poured. This is one of my favorite whiskeys. Shameless fan. Colin says painful missing both of those releases. Colin, I'll send you samples. I have that pack I'm going to send you anyways. And one of the Mount Vernon might already be in there. I don't know. I can't remember. They're in the basement. A lot of the samples are already poured and boxed up, but I'm going to add some to it because for everybody in the chat right now, Colin sent me a sample. What do you call it? Like a care package today of all Campbelltown scotches. And they are some very good samples. I'll just put it that way. So they're going to help kickstart, some of the Scotch content on the channel, which is going to be a thing that I'm going to hope to do on Sundays. So keep an eye out for that. Yeah, JP. Well, yeah, that's too much content for one night, for sure. For sure. But, if you guys get bored and you have nothing else to do tomorrow, the next day, check out some of those videos. Brian, you know what, man? People are paying $4.50 secondary for the Mount Vernon rye. It's not worth that, dude. I'm telling you right now. At least not for me. Okay. God bless America. Matt Porter, stop. What is this shit? I don't even know her. I've never met her. What are we doing? I hate you guys. Killing me. All right. As I said a little bit earlier, over here we have batch 1 Russell's, the one that's stained and down to about halfway or a little under halfway. This is batch 1 Russell's, which for those of you who are curious, LLJD means it was bottled in April of 2021. And this is Russell's, the newest release, batch 3, which is being considered, we're just going to say batch 2 from this point forward, which was bottled in May of 22. So these are both summer releases. It's supposed to be an annual summer release. And like I said earlier, there is that in-between batch that was bottled in December of 2021. Slightly different blend from batch 1. And some people are getting that confused with the newest batch. There's probably not that much difference, but it's just worth pointing out the specifics and everything like that. So let's get into it. JG, thanks for the $10 super chat, JG. 2 entries to the giveaway. Now let's get that off the screen. Brian, batch 2 is LLJL and batch 3 is LLKE. So JL is the J means 2021 and the L means 12 for December. And then KE, the K is 2022 and E is for the 5th month so May of 22. So let's start with batch 1. Kind of recenter on this Russell's 13 batch 1. So Jay, I'm working off of an Excel spreadsheet that Amy made that just I put in someone's name and how many entries and it just generates the list. I don't have to type it in 10 times like I do in a Word document on previous streams. So I guess she coded it to delete your name. Delete your entries. That's amazing. Anyways, batch 1 on the nose of Russell's 13. These are 114.8? Yeah, 114.8 for both batches. So it's just a thick blanket of sweet and very funky oak. That's the first thing you get. Really, really dark grape notes in here. Plum notes, like that kind of a vibe. And it's not dry. It's sweet. Very sweet and syrupy. Lots of vanilla hanging out on the top. And just the most leather. Just so much leather on the nose. It's amazing. The spice in here is kind of all over the place. It's just a really sweet oak spice, sweet baking spice. It's not too sharp or astringent or anything like that. Not dry. It's just this was my whiskey of the year last year, unofficially. Just, it's like perfect on the nose. So on the palate now. Actually, you know what? No palate yet. Let's go to the nose of batch 2 and try this. Or the 2022 release. We're going to call it that. 2022 release. Maybe that's what I'll put on the thumbnail when I make the video. Brian, man, dude, I love your wordplay, like the stuff, your sense of humor, Brian. I jive with that, man. A little dad jokey, little non sequitur, little wordplay, whatever. I'm with it, man. All right, so on to the second release. This is darker on the nose. Is it? Ooh, it's actually kind of. It's not spicier, but there's more ethanol on batch 2. The 2022 release, not batch 2. Sorry. So okay, all right. These are not the same. These are not. They're related like 65%, and then beyond that, they're not related. There actually are some pretty stark differences between these two. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, batch 2 darker for sure. Sweeter, but in a dark sweet way, like chocolate sweet, not vanilla, lighter, balanced notes. It's all dark sweetness. So like I said, more ethanol, but not necessarily spicier. A little bit flatter on the nose, actually, in batch 2. This is weird. Yeah. So I actually think, so this is really tearing me in half because I like dark whiskey and I like complex whiskey on one hand, and I also like one-trick ponies. So like for me, the perfect example of a one-trick pony whiskey is Chateau de la Baude from Bardstown Bourbon Company. It's so finished in Armagnac that it's just all Armagnac. It's just all grape and those kind of notes, which play into the MGP. But that's it. It's one-dimensional in that kind of way. And obviously, I'm speaking in hyperbole just a little bit. Just, I want to make that clear. This Russell's is kind of like that, where it's all really dark sweet oak, dark chocolate, ethanol, but it's not like branching out. There's not like a web of flavors as much on this batch. But I like the flavors that are there because I like dark whiskey. And the oak is funkier, and it's kind of like medicinal. There's like a medicinal note in here that reminds me of the 17-year bottled and bond from the Master's Keep collection. That's what I'm thinking. There's a little medicinal thing in here. Yes, that Robitussin kind of thing. People say Luden's cough drops. I never really had those as a kid, but Robitussin I know. Batch 1 is a little bit lighter, but it's much more complex to me. And there's more of a variety of baking spices. There's that vanilla. There's actually, you would never really pick up strawberry on batch 1, like strawberry candy notes woven throughout, unless you do the comparison to batch 2, which gets darker, more medicinal cherry. Then you go back to batch 1 and it feels like maybe there's some lighter strawberry notes in here actually. This is weird. This is kind of weird. All right, guys, I'm checking the chat. Sorry. What's going on here? What did I miss? What are Tom and Brian talking about? Hang on. Let me stop off here. I was fortunate enough to find a small bar in Pennsylvania that has Russell's $14. Oh yeah, dude. I'm drinking that at $14. Here's the thing. Sometimes for me, I'm always like, I don't want to spend more than like $10, $11 on a pour at a bar because I can just come home and drink, the same stuff or better stuff. Then I start thinking about what I pay for cocktails at some bars, and it's like, I'll spend $18 on a pour. I'll go ahead and do that. Brian says, let's stream more since Drew dumped me. Do we need to do a stream? It's just tough because the time slot of mine and versus the time slot of yours. Well, we can totally figure it out. Amy says, I think I got a bum bottle. Amy, maybe, but I also think that some people, like, I love the Russell's 13 profile, but I could see why somebody would smell it and say that's kind of boring. Because it's kind of boring. Like, it's not fireworks out of the glass. It's something that, for me, I have to like be in the mood to sit down with it, and it's kind of like relaxed in a way. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making excuses or something. Brian says repour and blind. I'll blind these at some point. Maybe not in the review video. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I do with that. For the review video, Brian, I have a sample. Someone actually confirmed it with me. I saw it pop up as a notification. I have a sample of that in-between batch on the way now, a 2-ounce sample. So I'm going to be able, in my review video, to kind of lay out the 3. Maybe I should do it blind. Maybe I shouldn't. I'll have to really think about that. Jeb Singleton, thank you for the $20 super chat. Let me get you entered into the giveaway real quick. 4 entries. Thank you so much. I was able to score 3 bottles of batch 1. First bottle was great. Might have to open one tonight. Seems to be a bit of variation. I'm so curious. I want to taste somebody's batch 1 that they say is not good. I need to figure this out. Because what if I have a bad one and they have what somebody else has actually a really good one? What if I'm just drinking shitty batch 1 and I don't even know it? And that's all that I know. Ignorance is bliss, right? Rex Lugo says, because the tussin cures all. At least that's what Mom said. Absolutely. I know there was like a period I felt like I was a kid where I was just Well, no, I wasn't just drinking Robitussin, but I was having a lot of Robitussin, you know, I was getting sick all the time. Guys, thank you so much for the super chats this evening. Again, for those of you who are just now jumping in, we're entering to win a bottle of Hidden Barn Batch Number 1 bourbon, Jackie Zeiken's newest project. I dropped my review of that last night about 10:30 p.m. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. Every $5 super chats gets you entered. Okay, you guys are killing me in the chat. Holy shit! Let's go to the palette on these now. So I'll start with batch 1. Here we go on the palette. My God, that's so good. Actually, you know what? I've never picked up on this. It's a little drying right away, but then as it develops, it gets a little bit more moist. It gets a little juicier. All right. It actually starts off a little bit dry, but all of that sweet oak and that turkey funk and everything else and that leather in there. Wow. That's great. That's so good. I love batch number 1. I got to let my palate calm down for just a second so I'm not kind of confused and overestimate the spiciness of this next sip. So I'll just, give this a little nose first. Your Huckleberry says, evening camp, cheers. Don't make me stop this car. Cheers to you as well. Let's see. Who do we got over here? Can't not pulling that up. Yeah, Russell's Reserve 13 is the Blantons of hipsters. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, we can do this. We can do this. In the next couple of weeks, we'll make it happen, actually. I gotta think about what, like next week is my birthday stream, so I'm going to figure that out. But maybe the week after or something like that. Big Potato, cigar blend versus Russell's 13. You know what? I love Nancy Fraley. I'm going to go Russell's 13 on this. I'm in a phase with cigar blend right now where I'm picking up too much grassiness. I don't know why. It's freaking me out a little bit. Like, how did I miss this all along? Maybe it's just the batches that I have open at this point. I think I'm going Russell's 13. It's just so classic, It's just so classic. I don't know. Another super chat. Hank Butts with another 5. Enjoyed the evening, but have started sneezing. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Hank Butts with another $5 super chat. Thank you, Hank, for that $5 super chat, you freaking asshole. Oh, goodness. Tom! Damn it, Tom! Oh, what is happening? What is happening? Guys, if you don't get on Jason's stream next week and give him the same shit you're giving me, I quit Whiskey Tube. I'll be right there with you on the front lines, but we gotta do this. If I'm getting this flack, we're gonna bring it back on Jason too. Because come on, what are we doing? Jesus. Batch 2 now on the palette. That people are just leaving the stream. The number's like falling. You're like, what is this shit? Get out of here. Yeah, sorry, guys. I've never had the chat turn against me. Can't think of something clever, so wild turkey. I mean, if that was worth a $20 super chat, I'm glad. I'm really glad. Thank you. No, I'm kidding. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Four more giveaways. Entries into the giveaway. Guys, I might have to throw a second bottle into this giveaway. You're killing it on the super chats, and I really appreciate all of you so much. All right, so tasting batch 2 now. Oh, wow. Yep. Okay. The people that did not like batch 1, I think will like batch 2 more. Batch 2 is a little bit more explosive on the palate. it doesn't get quite as dry on the front of the palate before, like I said, batch 1 dries out, and then it gets a little juicier as it moves back. And batch 1 is so complex. It goes through a bunch of twists and turns and different phases. Batch 2 is just direct. It's to the point, and it's delicious and tasty. And the nose is true to the palate. It's more chocolatey, more dark, rich, dense sweet oak. This is entirely going to be a mood thing. If I'm thinking objectively from a whiskey complexity blending perspective, I might take batch 1. But like I myself might actually end up reaching for batch 2 more because it's just such a dark profile. Dang it. Yeah, I'm going to stand by that. I don't like comparing these. Like if I was going to if I was going to just go over to the shelf back there and pick a bottle off, if I was going to go grab a Russell's, I would just want to grab one of these 2 blind. I don't want to have to make the decision on this. Yeah, because they're both so good. From watching Matt Madness last year, Grease kept saying, WTWT meant wild turkey, wild turkey. So yeah, I'm scared. Bo Tillman, watching this makes me want to crack that last one open so bad. Dude, if you want it, keep it. That's totally your call, man. That's totally your call. I love Russell's 13, but this is Sarah's favorite whiskey of all time. So any chance I have to get another one reasonably and even unreasonably, I do it. So I love that she loves this whiskey because it means she likes good whiskey. She has great taste in this stuff and very expensive taste. She's probably listening to me right now. Are you listening? She's probably listening. Okay. Last final little back and forth before we move on. What time is it? Oh, 9:15. We're doing great. I can't. Brian, can I mute Brian? Can I mute you? How do I mute you? All right, I put Brian in timeout. I've never done that before. Feels good to have that power. All right, back to batch 1. And batch 2. Such a mood thing. They're both so good. All right. I can't pick a winner. I really can't. When I do this blind, I think when I do my review video, I think I'm going to do it blind with the sample of that in-between batch. I think that's what I want to do. I'll review the newest release for the first 7 or 8 minutes of the video. And then I'll do a 3-way blind, and I will show you guys on the screen of the review video which one I'm sipping so that you don't have to wait to the end to get the reveal. That's the way I'm going to do it. Because the fact that I can't pick a winner out of this is actually exciting for me because it might completely change when I blind these and throw in a third one that I've never tasted. I will not taste the third one until I make that review video, and I think that's going to spice things up a little bit. Oh, Amy, how would Russell's 13 stack up against WB Saffold? Not well. I'll grab it. And the reason I'm even interested to do this right now, I'll just throw this in a glass real quick, is because I'm going to do the rare breed, non-chill filtered and regular comparison. And this can actually go into both of those if I really wanted it to. So Yeah, not being able to pick a winner is a good thing because Russell's Reserve did a great job of staying true to the profile. Yeah, I mean, this is what's interesting about it, is that I believe Shaylin Gammon is the one who blended this stuff as far as like what was talked about when she moved over to Blue Run to be their whiskey director and what people were talking about with her. And they said that she was pregnant when she blended Russell's 13. So she was not able to taste it, apparently. Like she blended it off the nose, which is pretty cool. But then she left, and I would imagine that she did not blend the second batch of Russell's 13. But I could be wrong on that. I would actually love to ask her that. Because if somebody else picked up blending this where she left off, that's interesting. And that could kind of speak to the differences here. The differences will become clear to you guys. When I make this video, I'll talk about the breakdown of the barrels that went into it. I don't have the 100% specifics, but I have a really good estimate of what went into batch 1 and then this most recent batch. So, okay. Let me get this set up here real quick. I have some, let's see. I need to clear a few glasses. I hate dirtying more than 10 glasses because 10 is all that can fit on the top rack of my dishwasher. Okay. So let me get a little water in me, clear these glasses, and then I'll pour that WB Saffel. We can move on to the next comparison. Poured water all over my crotch. Water everywhere. Hey guys, not new microphone, but I'm using a new interface for my mic. I don't know if it sounds any different to you guys, but I would be curious to know if it does. So I bought this new thing. For those of you like music or audio people out there that kind of know about this stuff, I bought a vocal compressor, basically a channel strip that has a compressor, a de-esser, an expander, gate, all that kind of stuff on it. I'm not using any of the compression settings or any of the gate settings yet at this point. I'm just kind of running it as an audio interface to my computer. But for future live streams, I'm going to dial this thing in and hopefully be able to make my voice not peak so much when I get excited. But I am curious if there's any difference in the audio from now to any other time, if it's even noticeable. I tried to make it very close, but I don't know. Bo says, you sound further away, but cleaner all around. Yeah, I actually moved my mic back about 10 inches or so, boomed up here, just thinking that like maybe I was a little too close to it. I have a loud voice. If you meet me in person, you'll know I'm just loud, and I hate that. Guys, oh, my sister super chat. Super awesome stream. Wow, I love whiskey. Well, my family's trolling me. I think I saw my mom in here. Did my mom say something? You better not. You are 12. I know, but what did I say? What is this in relation to? Audio junkie, I can hear your slurs better. I don't think so. You know what? If there's one skill I have, it's staying mostly articulate as I drink excessive amounts of whiskey. Abandoned Bourbon. Brian says, can I come back yet? I promise I won't be good. How long did it time you out for? What is the standard timeout? Damn, Tom. Your birthday may help with your voice peaking. Damn. Getting me. The mash bills. Stanley says, it is noticeable. Very crisp sounding. The lower register of your voice is slightly piercing and a little chainsaw-like. I have to get out of this chat. I have to do what I came here to do, damn it. Get away from you people. Also, you people, please hit that like button. The chat has turned. Can we ever come back from this? Time will only tell. Only time will tell. Damn, I messed that up. All right, so little WB Saffel in this third glass, just real quick next to these Russells for Amy, and then I'll leave this out for the rare breed comparison. That is closer than I wanted it to be, actually. To batch 1, not to the new batch. There are actual similarities between Russell's batch 1 and WB Saffel. I'm not overstating that. Like, I hope you don't think I'm trying to overstate that is what I mean. They're there. It's not crazy. Yeah. No, on the palate, no comparison. But there were some interesting similarities on the nose, actually. But it's all wild turkey, so you have to kind of expect that. Bo, I'll hit the like button if you give me 2 entries of the giveaway for this $4.99. I can't. I can only give you 1. Bo, Bo, I'll just send you a sample of the Hidden Barn, man. I'll send it with the Discovery 4s that are coming your way. Unless you win the giveaway. Then you just get the bottle. Then you don't get a sample. 10-minute timeout, says Dunny. No like for you. Hit dislike. You have to dislike the video. Okay. What am I doing? Jesus. What am I doing? I lost my train of thought. Guys, there was something that I wanted to pour out and taste, I think, but I can't even remember what it was because I'm just getting trolled so hard. Bo, which one is the in-between batch? This is an older comment you said. It's LLJL is the laser code on the in-between batch. I'm going back and checking. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Hey, for those of you who are still here, I know it's like, 9:25? It's not that late. It's fine. There's 66 people. Please hit that like button, by the way. Shameless plug. But here, I want to show you something that I'm super excited about. And Sarah might kill me. Sarah might kill me for showing you this, but I showed my patrons. But I'm going to show you guys. If you're hanging out on the stream, I'm going to show you. Okay. I hope me getting up and getting closer to the mic made my voice louder and made it seem like I was whispering more, or else I just look like an idiot doing this. Okay. I got to upload this real quick. Here we go. It needs to be here. Let me make sure this is the right one. Okay. Yes, it is. Okay, so, so you guys know Sarah likes to come on and do the tiny drams, the tiny hands thing. If you've seen her on the live streams, you know she likes to do that. And we've been talking about this for a while, but we want to do a mini series on the channel, like some pre-recorded content to kind of work together. I mean, I don't get to do creative things with Sarah, and I would like to do that and spend more time with my wife instead of just drinking whiskey and recording videos by myself. So we're going to do, this is the logo that I've been working with. We'll see how it ends up. But guys, imagine this logo on some itty bitty Glencairns, like the wee Glens. I mean, come on, look at that. The colors aren't exactly right. The yellow has a little too much bright green in it. We're dialing it in. But come on, what about that logo? Tiny Drams? I mean, come on. I don't even know what we're going to be doing on this series, but tiny Drams? Look at that. Look at that. That's pretty cool. And look at the little cute glasses on there. Ready? Check that out. How do I? Nope, over here. Check out those little tiny glasses. What do you guys think? All right, I'm going to stop whispering, I promise. Sarah's right over there. If she knows I told you guys, she'll kill me. So I'm closer to the mic and I'm whispering, Tom. Jesus, the trolling never ends with you people. It's tiny. It's Drams. What's not to love? But that's the idea. It's not going to be like it's not going to be too slapsticky or anything like that. Not going to be like some fake characters. That's not kind of what we want to do, but I want it to still be funny, and I want it to be fun to make, not like a hassle to figure out what we're going to be planning to do. It's like, just make some fun videos every once in a while. Ghost Piper. Amen. Yeah, Audio Junkie. Great. I mean, I'm just not putting the pieces together on the name. Mic closer to eliminate room reverb. Yes, but you know what? So I had the mic, like I said, about 10 inches closer before. I want to eliminate these peaks. When I get this compressor and my gate and everything working, I might not even use the gate. I don't like gated stuff if it's done poorly, and I'm afraid I'm going to do it poorly. I just want to take a little bit of the clipping away from it, But using like an SM7B or something close up on my face, it just gets in the way of what you're trying to do. So I think a room mic is the best call. I'm using an AT4040 up there, which is not the best mic for this, but it gets the job done at least. Yeah, well, I got closer to the mic, guys, but if that's right here in my face normally, which is how close I just was to it, it would, Fred Minnick does that. He has that SM7B, the Joe Rogan mic. If you guys watch Joe Rogan, he has that mic very close to his face, but it's tough to maneuver when you're trying to do everything with that. Yeah. My mom said Fairly Odd Parents. That Sarah literally said that today. Okay, maybe I'll get I used to have a podcast back in the day. Maybe I'll get my boom arms from my basement and boom a mic up to my face and do it that way. Maybe that's better. Yeah, I don't know. Look, if it truly is, a better product, I'm happy to do it. I just don't want it to suck. Missed. Yeah, right. I actually do have one of those mics in my basement. It's not a great quality one though, so I don't know about doing that. Okay, let's move on. I'm sorry, I've been like totally off topic. If you come in here and you're hanging out on one of these streams, it's just every time it's gonna derail. The giveaway's never gonna happen by 10. I'm gonna do the best I can, but Oh, I missed a super chat. So sorry, Paul. Paul says, cheers to the new cheers to the new Mrs. Jackie Brown. You guys are killing me. All right, Paul, I got you 2 entries into the giveaway, my man. All right. Here we go. So next up in this head-to-head showdown, 2 14-year rye whiskeys. All right. First is the Mount Vernon. This has been open a couple of weeks. You can see I've had a few pours. I've sampled it out to a few people. I don't know why it's going for $4.50 on secondary. I mean, the stats, it's a 14-year MGP rye whiskey. I mean, the stats are great. But we have this up against another product from the same line, the Maryland Heritage Series, which they're comprised of the same barrel lots, I guess, but they're just different blends that have been made. So I'm curious to see the difference in these blends. This one is called Sherwood. And I think all of these are revivals of previous labels. I know the Mount Vernon, definitely a brand from like the 30s, I believe, is the bottlings I've seen. Let's get these poured out and see what we get. I'm going to heavy pour these. Having an abundance of 14-year rye in front of me feels very weird, and I feel very lucky to have that. Maryland or the Mount Vernon was 200 on seal box, and I dripped right down the front of that. The Sherwood was 250 on seal box. So they upped the price between release 1 and 2, and they knew they could charge it, and probably made a good amount of money just by throwing that $50 on there. They paid somebody's salary that week on that $50 upcharge. Wow. The differences are pretty stark on these. So this is actually really exciting for me. When you're dealing with something like this, all barrels from the same lot, the same age, different blends, you could go, they could be really different, or they could be like, pretty darn close. And then that really wouldn't warrant a label change between the two bottles. But in this case, I'm excited about it. All right, let me catch up on the chats real quick. Oh, look at this friggin' guy. Nerd alert. Hey, Trev, dude, next Thursday night, you want to jump on? Birthday stream? If there's anybody I want to stream with on my birthday, it's Trev Wilson. If you're free next Thursday, dude, I will send you something to drink with me. I'll ship samples to you tomorrow. I'll just freaking expedite it if you want to hang out. If you don't, it's fine. I won't be offended. Stanley Wax taking a shot. By the way, the coolest people have birthdays in July. Dude, when's your birthday? When is your birthday? And if I missed it, happy belated. Make sure I'm all good here on my... Oh, Amy, did I just screw up the spreadsheet? I did. Oh, no. We're good. We're good. The giveaway's still on. Paul, I thought you were just giving me... I actually do know this. Jackie Z got married on her last day. Her husband's last name is Brown. Yeah, that is hilarious. Oh, Wags is on the 23rd. Awesome, man. I put that on the screen before I read it. All right, guys, let's start off with the Mount Vernon 14-year rye, 108.2 proof. And I'll just let you know right now that the Sherwood is 110.4. So about a 2 proof point difference, or 1% ABV. All right. Nice. All right. So the Mount Vernon, this is a really kind of, this is definitely more of a bourbon-y rye whiskey. It's a 95.5, but it actually smells a little bit more like that 21% rye bourbon mash bill from MGP, where you get kind of like a dark, dry cherry note and a lot of like cinnamon spice. That's kind of what I'm getting here. There's a nice vanilla on here, though. Like that aged vanilla note that you get on like a King of Kentucky, or like an Evan Williams 23, that thick vanilla cream note on there from all of those years in the barrel. That is on this Mount Vernon 14. And for a rye whiskey, I dig that. I like that note a lot. But underneath it, it's kind of dry. Dr. Pepper, it kind of has that Dr. Pepper vibe to it, cherry Dr. Pepper. A little bit of a burnt orange, slightly floral, not crazy floral and herbal. Again, more of like a bourbon, high rye bourbon profile. So I think bourbon lovers generally would like this Mount Vernon a bit more. So, all right, let's jump to the Sherwood now and see what this is like on the nose. Ooh, much more rye forward on this. It jumping out of the glass, a little more alcohol. And what is that? A little soapiness to it. A little like IPA hoppy kind of thing. Yeah. tons of ethanol on that. A little drier as well. So I'm going to get to these on the palate. I think the palate's going to really help me get more into the nose of the Sherwood, but it feels kind of closed off to me right now. 14-year MGP rye, though, I mean, that's special stuff no matter what. Sherwood looks orange, has an orange hue on the camera. Interesting. If I'm holding them up to the light, the Sherwood actually is just a little bit lighter. Let me make sure. They're so close. The Sherwood is just a little bit lighter. Ghost Piper says Mount Vernon and Sherwood are on opposite ends. That makes a lot of sense. Sherbrooke is in the middle and the best of the three. I really hope the Sherbrooke gets dropped on Sealbox, and I really hope I can get it. I'm not one for there are only certain whiskeys that I collect verticals of or horizontals, depending on which way, this would be a horizontal, I guess. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, the vertical of that. So I have every Elijah Craig Barrel Proof in the new bottle, and I do care about that, even if the new batches are not as good. But after two of these and spending $450 between the two, I'm like, I want to get that third one. Don't know what just happened. Randy Livingston, thank you for the $25 super chat, and that is 5 entries into the giveaway. Guys, I'm going to have to do a second giveaway tonight. You've been on fire with the super chats, and yeah, I've got to do a second giveaway for this because you guys are killing it. It's amazing. Just a reminder for those of you in here, I know there's only 61 left. A little attrition. I know that's cool. We're into the deep cuts here on this 14-year rye whiskey, but we are giving away a bottle of the Hidden Barn batch number 1 bourbon, Jackie Zykin's new blend with the Neely Family Distillery. So there we go. Brian, you're a bastard. That's all I'm going to say, man. All right, let's go to the palate for the Mount Vernon now. Oh, wow. Make sure I'm good here. There we go. So the Mount Vernon, to me, when I first tasted it, I just wasn't the biggest fan of it. I don't know if it's because I've been drinking Russell's 13 tonight, which is a little bit of I don't want to say reserved profile, but it's not bombastic. This is hitting in the right spot this evening. This Mount Vernon it's like the Russell's 13 of MGP, old MGP ryes. It's balanced. It's sweet oak actually in here. That vanilla note. It's actually really good. Holy crap. And now on to Sherwood. Wow. That's more my style. That is more my style. The big, bold, spicy rye. Not too herbal. This is like a cinnamon rye. Ooh, chocolate too. Spilling. Whereas the Mount Vernon is kind of flatter, nice vanilla cream. It's blended to be more reserved, in my opinion. The Sherwood, not Sherbrooke, the Sherwood is spicier, bolder, and actually darker with chocolate instead of vanilla. Paul Graham, let's be honest. MGP takes a lot of shit. Like they're the only distillery to win an occasional crap release. The truth is that they distill, age, and bottle some amazing whiskey. They age shit right. Yeah. So the Bourbon Junkies put out a video today, which I like their talking head videos. I would love to get into that more myself, but it's kind of hard to do that when you're by yourself. You need someone to banter off of, and Sean and the Savant are so good at bantering, and going back and forth off of each other. And so anyways, I like the fact that they do those videos, but today they were talking about how Bardstown Bourbon Company is going to be the new MGP of Kentucky, in particular because people who are sourcing whiskey in Kentucky really want their stuff to say Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey on the label, because that's just the distinction that people are looking for. 75% of the population or more thinks that bourbon has to be made in Kentucky. There are all of these stereotypes and stigmas and things associated. But we don't know yet how that Bardstown distillate is going to actually age. We know that MGP is just good. There's some bad stuff out there, but of all of that whiskey that they're putting out and sourcing out and everything else and bottling themselves, it's majority of that is some really good stuff. And I think we can't quite say, we can say that Bardstown Bourbon Company wants to be the next MGP in Kentucky, but we don't know if they're going to be, because we don't know if it's going to be that good. The stuff they're putting out now is fine. It's super bright though. And it's like the Green River stuff, the stuff coming from, where is that at? Owens something? Owensville? What is that town? I have a Blue Note pick right here. Where is Blue River from? Anyways, the stuff that's coming from them is Owensboro. Is that it? Owensboro. The stuff coming from Owensboro is really bright, like super candy bright butterscotch, but we don't know how it's going to age when it gets to 8 to 10 years old. And the same thing for Bardstown Bourbon Company. It's got that same kind of brightness to it that I'm going to be interested to see how it ages over time. Nathan, I can't agree with this more. If you can find them $75 to $90 all day, 3 and 5 are the best of the Remus releases, in my opinion, with 2 next and then 4, and I've never tried 1. Let's see. Oh, Ghost Piper. This is cool. I love that there's someone in the chat that has tried these. Mount Vernon changes the most after opening up. Sherwood doesn't need it and doesn't change as much. The Mount Vernon, you're so right. It has completely changed. I have an appreciation for it that I didn't have when I first opened it. I will say that. Yeah, Owensboro is Green River, I believe. Brian, am I right on that? All right, back to the Sherwood here. Yeah. Sherwood is a little drier as well on the back end. A little more orange here too. I think I'm a Sherwood fan right now. I would like to do these blind, especially if I get the Sherbrooke release, at least just a sample, even if I miss it on seal box. But I like the little bit of a spicier rye profile from the Sherwood. That's great. If you can find Calumet 16 for $125 or $130, you should absolutely buy that. Like, no questions asked. Yeah. Let's get this out of here. All right. Whew. We're deep in it. We're deep in it. For those 66 of you still here, thank you so freaking much. We're going to go to a classic whiskey now with a little bit of a less than classic comparison, and I'm excited about that. I need to pour some of this stuff back. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. On to this one. I do need to clear a few more glasses, so let me do that very quickly. Yeah, so Green River, you guys are talking about Green River. I think it's a solid $35 option. So like I said when I tasted it last week on the stream, it's a little bit brighter, a little more candied butterscotch. It's not as dark and oaky and char forward as like an Elijah Craig small batch, which is kind of like Elijah Craig small batch is kind of my go-to comparison point. 94 proof, so you're between 90 and 100. Evan Williams Bottled and Bond is also a good comparison point if you're thinking of a younger, more intense whiskey with a little bit more nuttiness to it. But I think Elijah Craig small batch is kind of my quintessential Kentucky bourbon, at this point. All right, let's see. Regs Lugo says, I recently had the 15 and it was good, but didn't knock my socks off. If you felt that way, and if you weren't offended by the oak on the 15, then the 16 will be great because it counteracts a lot of the medicinal cherry notes. But some people like the medicinal cherry. I kind of like it. And so the 16 to me is a little bit actually brighter on the red fruit note. Randy Livingston, very excited to find out today that the Bourbon from Bourbon Pursuit podcast will be hitting shelves in Tennessee soon. That's awesome. I remember I had a bottle of the first Pursuit United batch of bourbon, not rye. I have not tried any of the Pursuit United rye stuff yet. And I really liked it. I thought it was a solid, first go for them. And I thought they did well with the blend. I've heard that the rye is even better. And I think in Ohio, we are supposed to be getting Pursuit United stuff. I've heard that we're going to start getting distribution of that. It's hard because we're a control state. But, yeah. Nathan, Cameron, what have you heard for the various ages in the new Russell's 13? Let me tell you. I have a screenshot on my phone. Okay. Let's see here. I have to make sure. Let's see. Let me find it. Sorry. Here it is. Okay, so batch 1. Sorry, we're back on Russell's 13 for just a second. Sorry. Batch 1, which is code LLJD. It looks like it was a total of 170 barrels. And 135 of them were 13 years, and 35 of them were 19 years for batch 1. So the rumor of 19-year stuff being in batch 1 is seemingly true. This is coming from Ryan Alves from Justin's House of Bourbon, who would know this. Batch 2, that in-between batch, LLJL, meaning it was bottled in December of 2021, I asked, regarding the bottling dates on the second release, is it the same blend between the two? His response was yes, very similar makeups. Second release was very small. So very similar makeup to batch 1, which was, percentage-wise, you could say, what would that be? 25% 19-year and 75% 13-year. So he says it's similar for that in-between batch. Finally, batch 3 of Russell's 13, laser code LLKE, meaning it was bottled in May of 2022. I don't have a total barrel number on this, but it says 41 barrels are from 2002, making them 20 years old. 17 barrels from 2004, making them 18 years old. That means 58 barrels are between 18 and 20 years old. 58 as opposed to 35 being 19 in the first release. Okay, so 41 and 17 barrels, 20 and 18 years old. And it says the rest of the blend is from barrels that are 15 and 14 years old. So the batch 3 is significantly older all the way around. Up to 20 years, down to 14 years, with 15 and 18 in the mix. From Camp Nelson A, D, and E. And that's from Ryan Alves. So it makes sense to me, based on that, why the new batch of Russell's 13 has more of the medicinal cherry note, which we got on the 17-year bottled and bond Master's Keep, which is 17 years old. It's an older whiskey. It makes sense why it's a darker profile, why there's more sweet oak in the mix. But it also makes sense why it's more one-dimensional. Because think about it. When you're blending 13 and 19 only, the stratification of flavor there is wide. Between 13 and 19 years old, the 13 is going to have some pop, some pizzazz, some life still left in it, left in it. And the 19 is going to bring in the heft and the oak and all that kind of stuff. But you're always, in a blend like that, you're always going to taste the stratification of flavor from the lowest to the highest age in the blend. When you start filling out the middle of the blend, for instance, you have 20 and 14 year in batch, and the newest batch, 20 and 14, but you also have 15 and 18. You start filling out the middle. The stratification, in my mind, is less when you taste it. And because of that, it means you can have a more singular profile in there. It can be more direct, more defined on the palate. That's the way I look at it. And that has always held true for whiskeys when I find out what the blend proportions are. And it's like, oh, that's why you're getting X, Y, Z, and why I called out these things on the nose and palate. That seems to hold true. Audio Junkie, there is only one 16-year Calumet Farm product. They just released a small batch, which is a blend of 8 and 15 year. I haven't tried that yet, but they've released it in the new bottle, in the bottle design, which is the 16-year bottle design, kind of that wine bottle shape. But the 16-year product, if it's age stated that way, I have only ever seen one bottle that is that, and we should be expecting a Sam Houston 16 as well. Yeah, it would be Russell's 14. Based on what Ryan Alves is saying, he's a trustworthy source, but I'm always going to put the caveat on this, especially when I make my review video, that like, here's where I'm getting the information, and I'm not claiming that it's true. I'm just claiming this is what I've heard from this particular person who is in the know. You have to be careful about that. Yeah, they snuck 20-year, and it sounds like the 20-year barrels are from the same lot of the 19 years. The 19-year barrels from batch 1, as far as I can tell. Brian says batch 2 bourbon pursuit rye is pretty comparable to batch 1. Batch 3 bourbon has more graham cracker and dry spice, where batch 2 had some cola and bread. Interesting. I've only ever had batch 1 bourbon, so I am so out of the loop on that. It's all leaving Boston Bourbon Company this week, so should hit warehouses next week and out for distro hopefully a week or two after. Yep. Stratification really can. I love using the word stratification when I'm talking about tasting whiskey. I'm a nerd. You know this. Hey, Stanley, I got you with the giveaway again, man. Okay, let's do it. Guys, 4 minutes left on the super chats. We will draw for the giveaway at 10 p.m. So get those, you know what? I'm going to do a little more. Get those super chats in if you want to win a bottle of Hidden Barn batch number 1. You guys know who blended it. I don't need to say it. I just don't need to say it anymore. The chat has said it 2,342 times. All right. Let's get some non-chill filtered. Kyle C in the chat. Kyle, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. I apologize. Kyle says, is Russell's Reserve 13 batch 2 better than batch 1? It's a mood thing. It is a mood thing. I compared it earlier. You could rewind and watch that, but batch 2 is a little bit darker and more one-dimensional. Batch 1 is a little brighter and more complex, and it's totally up to what you're looking for. And the blending supports that conclusion from what Ryan Alves says. Excuse me. Randy Livingston, has Ohio seen any of the Elijah Craig barrel proof private barrel picks? I just picked one up, and it's 8-year as opposed to the 12-year of ABC batches, but the proof is back at 132. Nice. Especially in the younger side, it's probably easier to get that higher proof. Ohio got a drop of those a few weeks ago of private barrel Jesus. Private barrel picks, excuse me. I didn't go out and hunt any of those down, so I didn't get any, but what do I have coming? A buddy of mine who's part of a group here in Ohio did a pick, and I have one of those coming, but that's not through the state. Paul Graham, what is up, dude? I'm glad you're still here. He says, wow, if only you could get your hands on a bottle of bourbon, all of which is at least 17-year-old Kentucky bourbon. So I'll just tell everybody then, Paul. Guys, I have a rare hair with the Playboy bourbon. I have a rare hair on the way from this man right here. And I'm so freaking excited to taste it because Matt Porter loved this stuff. And, you know, it's just a cool bottle to have. It's gonna be great. I can't wait for it. So thank you, Paul, man. Oh, I can't wait. Cognac finish all the way. Simate. Oh, what do we? What did Kyle say? Sounds like they need to be blended together. Yeah, actually, that is not a bad idea. Why not? Just blend batch 1 and it's like, what do I call it? Do I call it batch 3 because there's the in-between batch? I don't know. And your last name is pronounced Simate. Okay. Nathan Fay, Kentucky Owl Rye batch 3 and 4 at retail. Isn't batch 4 $100 more at retail? I see batch 3 at $190 and I see batch 4 at $300. I have a batch 3. I have a backup of batch 3. I love it, but you have to like very minty rye. You have to like vanilla and spearmint in your rye to appreciate Kentucky Owl batch 3. Yeah, I'm going batch 3. I haven't tried batch 4, but if batch 4 is like 5% better than batch 3, it's not worth $100 more. And I don't think it's probably going to be better. Typically, a company that has special releases that are coming out like that, and they wrap it up after 4 releases, you know, after Dixon left, typically the case is going to be that they've used a lot of their really good stocks in the first batch, the first couple of batches, and it's probably going to get worse as it goes on. That's just my experience with that stuff. So I would say pick up that batch 3. Yeah. So 50-50 blend. God, we're back at Russell's again. Sorry. Russell's one first batch and newest batch. 50-50 blend. Yeah, that's good. The finish is a little weak. It kind of killed the finish to blend them both, but the actual palate was really, really good. All right, on to this last comparison. Guys, let's do the giveaway. No more super chats. Super chats are done. I have been keeping track here, so I will share my screen with all of you so you can see this 100% transparently. Make sure I've got everybody. Got Stanley. The last couple super chats. Just want to make sure I've got them in here. Stanley, Randy. Stanley is what it should be. Yep. Okay. Great. So we have 71 entries into tonight's giveaway. I'm going to have to do a second giveaway. So let me turn around real quick and pick something out. I'm going to look and see if there's a bottle, but it might end up being a sample pack. Just give me 1 second. What am I giving away? A hidden barn? Okay. I don't have anything. I don't have anything sealed in this room, and I don't know exactly what's in the bunker. So I'll just do a sample pack for the second place winner. And what I'll do is I'll include a sample of Hidden Barn in that sample pack. So at least whoever wins second is going to be able to taste that release. So that's awesome. All right. So let me pull up the randomizer here and we'll get this going. I will share my screen and then we will do the final comparison of the night. Rare Breed, non-chill filtered, and WB Saffle. Not blind, but that's okay. You don't have to do everything blind. I promise. Okay, so we got the list in there. Now let me share my screen. Got that. And boom. And let me remove that background image. That is so distracting. Okay. Take the banner away. Cool, guys. So here we go. So yeah, sample pack. And I don't skimp on those sample packs. I promise you. There might be some rustles in there. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, so the list you can see is entered here. This was the spreadsheet I was using. Thank you, Amy. Where you enter a name, a number of entries, and it populates over here. Full transparency, guys. So what did I say? 71 entries, I believe. Siri will pick for us. Actually, you know what? Siri will not pick for us. We're going to randomize 7 times. I like to do 7, lucky number 7. And the first name on the list is going to win the bottle. And the second name on the list is going to win the sample pack. And I should say, but if it's the same person, we're going to roll, we're going to move down the list until it's a different person. Someone is not going to win twice. Here we go. 7 rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and finally the last one here. Remember, top person wins Hidden Barn. Second place wins a sample pack. Boom. Randy Livingston coming in hot with the Hidden Barn. And Paul Graham with the sample pack. So, Paul, I don't even know how much shit I owe you at this point, man. But, hey, Randy Livingston, I need to post this in the chat. Email me at drumsanddrams@gmail.com. There's my email address. Tom, did I put it in that way? So I can't see my screen down there is so little on my computer compared to I have like a TV screen that I'm using for everything else. So it's hard to see like what I actually entered it as. It's okay. So Randy Livingston, shoot me an email at drumsanddrams@gmail.com with your name and your address, and I can get you that bottle of Hidden Barn. Yeah, awesome. And I'm glad you're still here. It makes life easier. So please send me that email right now so you don't forget, because some people forget and I have to track them down, and it's a freaking nightmare. Congratulations to Randy and to Paul Graham. Let me write this in my phone very quickly so I don't forget. Randy L. Livingston, Paul Graham, Randy Bottle, Paul Samples. There we go. Okay, final comparison of the night. We are not done just yet, but if you got to get out of here, I totally understand. It's no big deal. I know some people come on at 10 p.m. to stream. We got to run in and out. But if you are still hanging out and you want to see this Rare Breed, non-chill filtered, regular, and WB Saffle comparison, look at that. Look at the stair steps. They just get shorter as they go. If you do want to see this, stay tuned. We're going to do this right now. Hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. That would really help. Let's start with regular Rare Breed. Bottling code on this, LLIK. So that means this was 2020. And what is K? December. So this was bottled in December of 2020. All right. All right. Ethanol, sharp on the nose. Bright cinnamon, bright cherry, Kind of nice middle of the road caramel. A little bit of orange and lemon citrus. White pepper spice. All right. So that's what we have on regular rare breed. Let's go to WB Saffel next. A little darker. Less alcoholic on the nose, but of course this is a lower proof at 107 versus 116.8. So yeah, a little bit of a more muted and relaxed nose. A darker cherry note. Darker cinnamon. I mean, everything is a little bit darker here. There's a slight green apple peel coming out on the WB Saffel. But it smells really nice. Same white pepper as rare breed. And now to the rare breed non-chill filtered, which is also 116.8, like regular rare breed. Huh. Actually getting a little bit of grain on this and a lot of orange. Let's go back to regular rare breed. Oh, actually regular rare breed has a lot more grain than the non-chill filtered. It must be because I came off the WB Saffel, which is not grainy whatsoever. Never noticed that about it, but that's nice. It almost smells like the rare breed non-chill filtered just has older stuff in it than this particular batch of rare breed from December 2020. Man, I'm getting like it smells like a fake leather couch. The non-chill filtered smells like a fake leather couch. If you've ever sat down on one. I kind of like it though. Yeah, I would say right now, Saffel is actually beating rare breed on the nose. And I don't know that I've had that happen before. Non-chill filtered might be ahead of both of them. And this is the nose. So I'm not thinking about palate and fatty acid esters and all this kind of stuff with non-chill filtration. I'm just thinking about how this smells. And it just smells like it's a little bit more rounded and dense and older than this batch of rare breed. So yeah, for what that's worth, you could say I'm influenced by the fact that I know it's non-chill filtered, but I'm on the nose right now. Yeah. All right, let's go to the palate. Let's start with the Saffel on the palate. I'll get to the chat in just a second, guys. Saffel is definitely younger on the palate than it was on the nose. Yeah. Randy, the non-chill filtered is travel retail release only. Yeah. And when I traveled, I went to Europe about 2 months ago. I flew through San Francisco. I would have went through duty free in San Francisco and Copenhagen and in Munich. And in none of those airports did I find the rare breed non-chill filtered. So I don't know exactly, I don't know where it is, what markets it's kind of targeting, but not the markets I was in. I only picked up some Jack Daniel's traveling tasters or whatever they call them. Yeah, actually a tobacco note is starting to come through on the WB Saffel right now. Big Potatoes Ring, it's a Midwinter Nights Dram, Christmas in July. You can see my Midwinter Nights Dram right here. I have a scarf on it and a little green hat. It's got its Christmas outfit on. Kyle says, I got the most recent batch of rare breed from May of 20, and I'm not impressed. Yeah, this one's not that good, actually. I think my first batch of rare breed that I got, which probably was a 2019 bottling, was better than this 2020. Brian says winner of rare breed versus winner of Russell's 13. We'll figure out what that winner is of Russell's 13 when I get that other sample and do the blind. But I think 13 is going to just slap the shit out of whatever wins this whatever wins this flight. Okay. Kyle prefers Russell's picks over Rare Breed. I agree. Absolutely agree. Yeah, Brian, I tried some of the Toddy stuff. One of the Twix picks was just silly good. But it wasn't as oaky and dark and rich as Russell's 13, but it had such a good profile to it. It believed in itself. whatever age it was, like 10 to 12 years old, it capitalized on it perfectly. But it was not like the same thing as Russell's 13. No. Okay. Let's go on to regular Rare Breed on the palate. Wow, it's really starting to smell like just sharp and kind of bad and young on the nose. That stinks. The palate. So it's reversed of Saffel. Saffel's nose was really good. The palate got a little bit young for me, but drinking it on the palate opened up some nice sweet tobacco notes on the nose. Rare Breed on the nose was really young and grainy. On the palate, I'm getting some nice caramels and cinnamons and light cherry. And it's not as grainy on the palate as it was on the nose. That's interesting. Now on to the non-chill filtered version. Again, the nose here is just darker all the way around. It's just a better nose. But it feels like it's just older. All right, onto the palate. Look, I don't know if the difference is just older whiskey in that. Oh my God, that's so good. Holy crap. I don't know if it's just that it's older whiskey or if it's that it's non-chill filtered or both. That is so far and away the winner. I'm telling you what. I think I got this for like $100 locally from somebody, a local group. So it's secondary, but it's not full secondary pricing. $100 for 1 liter of Ware. I almost said Ware Breed. 1 liter of Rare Breed. And you know what? This is what, $40 for $7.50. But if you're talking an older profile, a better drinking experience, and 33% more, and it's this, and it's only $100, the math doesn't totally check out, but it's worth it. I am a fan of this. Yeah. You start to get into that leather note that Russell's 13 has, like aged turkey stuff. Gets that really leathery quality and that sweet oak. It's starting to be introduced on the non-chill filtered. So it's a stark difference. And I don't think it has as much to do with the filtration as it just does better whiskey in the blend. Paul Graham, give my samples to the next winner. Well, Paul, I have that pulled up still. The next winner is Randy Livingston. And I said we can't have duplicate winners. So the next winner after that is Hank Butts. Hank, are you still here? Let me know if you're still here. I have Hank's info in my email, but let me write this down, Paul. And thank you for doing that, man. I don't even know if I have enough whiskey to send you. I think I owe you 3 sample packs plus the other stuff I'm going to send your way. It's hard to tell if I even have enough different stuff from everything you've already gotten sample-wise from the giveaways. Hard to tell, man. So thanks for doing that for Hank. That's awesome. Oh yeah, Tom, the non-chill filtered is a 1 liter. So if you see somebody like selling one of these between 80 and like 110, I'm sorry, but I'm going to buy it. So yeah, the Stanley says the ADHD Whiskey Garage sales tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. This is through Bourbon Outfitter for his picks that have been held back in case there were shipping issues or breakage. So I'm going to get on there and hopefully get a Lob Creek so that I can do a comparison to the King of Creeks pick. But yeah, I'm gonna be there waiting. Cool, guys. I think that's all I've got. I gotta get off here. I've got a rehearsal at 2 p.m. tomorrow and a show at 7. Rehearsal 2 p.m. on Saturday, show at 8. I am going to try to drop my Booker's 2022-02 review tomorrow or Discovery 8, but I think it's going to be Booker's. I saw Jason posted about Booker's today, and I'm hoping he doesn't drop tomorrow. I'm hoping I can get that out. It's tough when a bigger channel drops, right after you or something like that, because it kind of takes views away from when you drop as a smaller channel, and it's just the name of the game. It's kind of what happens, but I'm hoping he doesn't drop Booker's tomorrow if I do drop it around noon. So that's what I'm thinking, but we'll just see what happens. At any rate, I'm going to definitely try to get a video out for you tomorrow. For those of you who are still left here, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for super chatting, for just hanging out tonight, for supporting the channel. On your way out, if you haven't hit the like button, of course do that. Subscribe, of course do that. And the last thing, which I wanted to do earlier in this stream, is that the best way to support the channel, I've got to say, is to subscribe on Patreon, and it's either $5 or $10 a month for Drums and Drams. I do not have any tiers above $10 a month. There is a 15 sitting there that I'm trying to delete, but some people are signed up on the $15 tier, and I can't delete it until they move down. I can't move them down. So it's either $5 or $10 a month, and that's the best way to support the channel. It's cheaper than Netflix and Amazon Prime and stuff like that. It's a cup of coffee, and it's just a great way to help support the channel. Little exclusive content. We do a giveaway every month if you're on the $10 tier. So, consider doing that. If there's one thing I ask you for my birthday, which is next week, I'll plug it next week for sure, is just sign up for the Patreon. It really, really helps, and I would appreciate it so much. But I'm going to bounce out of here, guys. Thank you, Randy, for hanging out, man, and congratulations on winning that Hidden Barn. Audio Junkie, I'm not a fan of Rare Breed Rye, unfortunately. I haven't visited that since December of 2020, I think, is the last time I tasted it. Just not a fan. I don't know. And Stanley, if a bottle really makes my nether regions tingle, no, you can't put a price on it. That's the pinnacle of what a bottle can do. Amazon and Netflix don't know jack about whiskey, but I think if you get on Amazon, you can watch the Neat documentary, and Jackie Zykin's in there. All right, guys, I'm going to see you later. Cheers. I'm going to end with a pour of the non-chill filtered Rare Breed. So I will see you when I see you, probably next Thursday night or on a video release tomorrow. Thank you so much for hanging out. Cheers. See you guys soon.